I feel like everybody I talk to gets the work of Joe Dispenza completely backwards. And on this video, I want to share with you exactly what that is, how you can bypass that so you don't fall into that trap, and how you can elevate this type of work to help you benefit in your life, in your business, in your relationships, everything. And then on top of that, I want to show you how to use AI to amplify the entire process. What's up, guys? My name is Nico Rapclis, and I've been an online business owner and a practitioner of Joe Dispenza's work for, 6, 7 years now. I've probably meditated hundreds of hours, read this book like 8 times. And again, I want to share with you why most people get this stuff backwards and how you can mitigate that and stay away from falling into those traps so that you can get the most benefit from this book and all of his other work. Okay, so I want to share with you a little bit of my story on how I got into Joe Dispenza's work and how I started taking it a lot more seriously and what it actually did for my life. Now, the thing that really stood out to me in this work, in his book, was one of the first chapters, and he was talking about the woman from Austria, and the police came to her house one day and she discovered that her husband jumped off one of the tallest buildings in the whole country and obviously committed suicide. And so that sent her down a spiral of thinking about all the negative things that are coming along with that. And from there, she got sick, and she just continued to get sick and sick and sick. And then she developed cancer, ovarian cancer, and then she wasn't able to even walk, and she was bedridden and like on the brink of death until someone brought her, Joe Dispenza's work and brought her to an event, and she went and she meditated and she drank the Kool-Aid, right? And because of that, it didn't happen overnight, but over time, like, her life completely shifted, and then she was able to get healthy, get clean, rid herself of all disease, but not only that, then become a prominent business owner and really have a freedom-based lifestyle because of all this. So my mindset was completely shifted because I saw the fact that we truly can make ourselves sick with our thoughts, and then we can also heal ourselves with our thoughts, right? And I think a lot of people think that if you just meditate 10 minutes a day, or you just do that for a week, or you do that every once in a while, then you can have that same type of effect. And so, sure, there's a little bit of benefit of meditating a little bit every day, right? And that's great, and that's better than not doing anything. But here's the rub that I have with it all, is that, one, it's about meditating, yes, but most people get the meditation part wrong. They think that I just need to clear my thoughts. I need to clear my mind, right? When the heck have you ever actually cleared your mind or cleared your thoughts? Right? I certainly haven't for any extended period of time, but it's more about becoming the observer of your thoughts, observer of your mind. That's how it shifts over, right? And when people say like, oh, I'm not very good at meditating, being good at meditating means that you are meditating. It's not being good at it. There's no like scoreboard up there of like the best meditators. It's just not the case, right? Because here's the other thing, and then I'll continue to hammer on so much, and this is the thing that I just want to continue to reinforce into my mindset, into who I am and how I operate this, because coming back to my story after listening to that story and reading this book for the first, second, third time, I really was like, oh, wow, okay, this stuff is making sense. It's seeping in. The more I listened to the audiobook, the more I read the book and felt the book at the same time, because I'm more of a kinesthetic, visual, and auditory learner. So then I get all the senses. So then it's seeping into my subconscious more, which I want to talk about here a little bit more in a second. But once I started internalizing that more, I was like, oh, wow. Like, instead of just reading this book and being like, oh, that was a good read, rather, what I approach this is like, I'm going to imagine that I actually paid 10 grand for this, and I'm going to operate this, and I'm going to study it. And so this book is amazing, for sure. It gives you so much understanding of why this stuff is so powerful. And Dispenza has so much data, and I think that's like the biggest thing. Like, he's obviously leading the market in the meditation and mindfulness space because he has so much data, and he's proven that this stuff is real, that a lot of people, it just seemed like kind of woo-woo, but now it's more scientific data. I mean, they're even like taking tears from people at the event to see how much it's impacting them, which that's what we're big on moving forward with our company, is that like we really want to track more metrics as people are listening to their Vision Espresso, right? But what I'm getting at is that it's so good to continue to meditate. And the more that you sit in meditation, the more it's seeping down into your subconscious and it's changing you, right? Because here's the thing, is that most of us are addicted to how we feel. And when I say most of us, we're addicted to how we feel, not in the positive way. So people want to say that like, hey, I want to, have this lifestyle where I get to travel and I grow my business, but they're addicted to feeling bad. And they're like, I don't actually want this on a subconscious level. And so every time you meditate, every minute you meditate, every 10 minutes, every hour that you meditate, you're basically kind of like loosening the grips of that like addiction to feeling bad, right? So you're meditating and you're opening it up and it's like, boom, now it can set free, right? So here's the thing that I'll continue to say, and I'll stand on this hill for a long time, is that it's not about just meditating. Meditating is great. It's about taking the meditation practice into the rest of your life. And so the more that you strengthen your muscles with meditation, doing it for an hour a day, 2 hours a day, I'm about to walk into a season of deeper meditation that I'm really excited about, because it is going to be that thing that really opens things up and allows me to, boom, skyrocket a lot more. Because then once it's open, you're like letting out all the gunk, and then you can start putting stuff inside. And that's what I always talk about with clients, especially with our clients that are inside of our 75 Easy program, is that it's like the repetition of the meditation. But it's like meditating, get back to the rest of the day. Meditating, get back to the rest of the day. And here's what I'm going to say, is that it's like about meditating, and then you take that meditation practice into the rest of the day, 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 and then boom. So it's not as much like meditate back to the day, right? It's about meditating to the day, meditating in the day, you get it. So then the subconscious is open. Now we can slip things in, and that's where we come in and we install Vision Espresso into them, right? And they even talk about that a lot. Like Mind Movies is a really powerful platform, and we got really inspired by Mind Movies, and that's why we created Vision Espresso, which I'll explain here in a second. But that's what I really wanted to hammer home on this video, is because most people think that it's just like, let me meditate for a couple minutes and do it every once in a while. And it's just like, you're kind of opening it and then you're just closing it, because you're just literally addicted to feeling bad, your negative emotions. And that's not your fault. It's how you were programmed. There's experiences that were in your past that just trained you to do that, right? But until we continue to strengthen that muscle, strengthen that practice over and over and over again, you're going to continue to clamp down. And so for me, just to tie a loop on all of this, is that when I got serious, I told you that whole like mindset shift of treating like I paid 10 grand for this, but then also treated the meditations like I paid 10 grand for them, and actually started implementing. Because what you'll understand, like there's so much great information inside of this book, but ultimately what it's telling you is just meditate. It really is. If you read it and you understand it, it's like, just meditate, do it every day, do it as long as you can, and then take that practice into the rest of your day. And that's what's going to be so much more powerful, as opposed to just like reading this book and be like, yeah, I read Joe's book. Yeah, I listened to a podcast. It's great, but it's all about the implementation. And that's what I strongly recommend, is like the more that you can practice this and get out of that mindset of like, oh, I'm not very good at meditating. It's like, you are good because you are meditating, and you are even gooder the more you meditate. You're the goodest if you meditate an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, and you do that consistently and take that practice into the rest of your day. And then you're ready for beautiful work like Vision Espresso, which I'll share here. This is our app right here, and everything starts with our vision quiz. So you'll be able to click on there, and then we have our 7-day shot. And basically what this is where you can listen to your future self that's speaking to you based on your vision. So you go through this process of understanding what you want and getting really clear, and unpacking all the stuff that is already in there, so that you can understand, where do you contract, where do you get back into feeling like it, where do you get back into getting addicted to those bad feeling emotions. That's what we really help with, to help you understand on a deeper level. And then from there, then our process, our AI process takes things over, and then you can listen to your future self talk to you that's in your voice, right? So that's what I always recommend. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning is like utilize AI to practice this type of work deeper and deeper, because it's so, so powerful. And the more that you understand yourself on a deeper level, and the more that you have that repetition over and over and over again, that's why we have our 75 Easy program, because once you create that audio, then you can listen to it day in and day out, day in and day out. And the more you seep it down, especially right after meditation, that's why we partner with a meditation company as well that gets people deep into meditation, and then they listen to their Vision Espresso, because it's like they're deep in meditation, they're opening it up, boom, Vision Espresso gets in there, and boom, that's when things start happening really cool. People have, gotten pregnant and into a marriage like literally within months after being single for 17 years. It's crazy. Even like 5xing their business, or, all sorts of different things. Getting 12 referral clients in a matter of months, on a $30K offer. It's pretty wild. And the energy inside of our community calls that people they get on it and they're like, wow, I don't even drink coffee, but I feel like I'm on caffeine because I'm just like vibing high. So yeah, if you want to go check it out, everything starts with our vision quiz that helps you get a lot of clarity on what your vision actually is. And then from there, you can start diving into the rest of Vision Espresso. But I appreciate you watching this video. We've made a lot of content on YouTube here about Joe Dispenza, so feel free to go watch any more of those pieces of content. They're really good. People seem to like them quite a bit. And yeah, let me know what you got most out of this video. Leave a tree emoji if you're with the Just Grow gang. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.